Okay, my apologies. One of the issues of this game is that the audio resets to 100% every time you start the game, so you do get your ears blown out. Uh, that being said, it is a game that it is a problem that's common in most indie games. So I'm not going to hold it against this game. I think it's probably more due to the game engine than the game itself. With that being said, that is the only bad thing I can say about this game. It's a game where you're running a return shop, a shop where you get pallets of used goods. You buy them, you resell them, you make money. Eventually, you can repair them. You can modify them, and you can do all sorts of cool stuff to make a profit. Now, this game is going very well with a few people that know about it, but it is very much unknown. And I must admit, when I was sent the key, I didn't actually ask for this one. It just got dropped into my inbox like some of the games I get. I took one look and went, I thought it was going to be pretty ordinary, but they proved me wrong. In fact, this game is one of the most played simulation games I've been looking at in the last month or so, and as you know, I've got quite a few, so that's a pretty big compliment from me. And as you can see, we're already 1 week deep into the game. Well, actually, we're nearly two. We're nearly 2 weeks. So I've really been enjoying the game, and this is one of those games that gets better the longer you play, because when you start, you're just simply purchasing stuff. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Let's just jump in and I'll show you why this game is one you want to stick with. Now, when you start the game, you have very, very little in the way of resources, of course. In fact, I had to take out a loan to purchase a store and stock it out, and I'm still paying that loan back. I could have paid the loan back earlier, but I used the money instead to purchase a few upgrades. Now, I haven't been able to afford them because I didn't know when you get the upgrade, you still have to buy the equipment. But what I do have is this here. So we're going to start with the tool with probably the most useful bit of equipment you can get. This is the workbench. And I didn't realize how useful it was until I pulled apart a few electronic items and found that you can pull apart items that are very cheap, and you can take the pieces and use them to repair rare and valuable items. So one of the cool things about this game is you buy pallets of goods, and it's a bit of a balancing act. You find the goods that are worth very little, and you use them, you recycle them for the parts, and then you're constantly on the lookout for high value items, which you then are able to repair and sell for a nice big profit. So I have been pulling apart a few items. You get mystery boxes in the form of these pallets that you purchase. You buy a pallet, you don't know what's in it. Sometimes there's some really high value stuff, and sometimes it's just rubbish. But the good thing now I've got this bench is I can get the low value items, and I can use them to flip a valuable item and repair it and make a ton of money. Now, at the moment, I'm selling some pretty standard goods, and you might wonder why the stuff isn't very neatly stacked on the shelves. Unfortunately, when you stack new items on the shelf, it's a minor bug with the game, but if you stack another item on a shelf where there's existing items, sometimes it does this thing where it shuffles all the items on the shelf, and they end up all over the place like this. It doesn't stop customers from buying them, but it does make it really hard. I wish you could just have locked slots on each shelf that can't move, because it means that sometimes items fall on the floor, and then you have to go around, look for them, pick them up, otherwise the customers won't be able to purchase them. See this? This is fallen down, this is fallen down, so we're going to put these back. Like so. It's not a big deal, but it can be a bit annoying sometimes, and you've got bits and bobs all over the place. And especially when you're running a store in the middle of the day, I don't want to be doing this. But I don't have much of a choice, so let's get these out of the way. I don't have a whole lot of money. I would like to purchase some more pallets, but I'm kind of tapped out. Oh, that's a not too bad. That's an audio device palette, and that's real cheap. That's savage. We could definitely swing that. Let's buy that. Now, when you buy a pallet of goods, you just kind of go through it and find the items that you want to keep, find the items you want to scrap, and put what you want on the shelves. So we have to open up the box like so. We have a bit of a look in here. We can see these items are old, they're used. Then they'll make a bit of money, but over here, I've separated the shop into two areas. At the moment, I can sell general goods. So these are just kind of mixed goods, camping goods, very basic electronics. You've got, tools, you've got toys, all sorts of bric-a-brac. Over here, we've got specifically audio stuff. So this is something we have to do with every product we buy. We have to scan the item and we have to place a price on this. Now, because I have a pretty good reputation now, I can mark items up. At the start of the game, you have to mark items less and run at virtually zero profit. So having $1,000 in your pocket is, it's pretty hard to do in the early days. So we're actually doing pretty well. These are already priced. I'm just going to get all these stuff on the shelf. Not enough space. We're gonna open this bad boy up. These speakers are priced. So I'm just gonna dunk these here. No space. You'll have to go down there. Oh, see what I mean? So, it's so annoying. I'm gonna grab these. Just drop them down here. See what I mean? They're kind of like if I was developing this game. And I know I'm kind of backseat developing, but, I have to. I put my QA hat on and I can't take it off. I would assign a slot for each item. And whether the item is a small item or a big item, it will consume that slot. And if you place another item, see what I mean? Like items clip into each other. It's not a big deal. It's not like it's game breaking, but it is super annoying when you've got all this stuff that's falling on the ground and you're trying to run the store and you're also running around trying to pick up items that are falling through the shelves and the customers are complaining. They're saying we can't buy anything, there's no items on the shelves. I'm like, what are you talking about? There is items, but they can't get to them. So like I said, very, very small issue with an otherwise excellent game. It's a minor gripe. Okay, so these headphones, these are going to be probably worth about $50. They look mid-range headphones. I can swing 85 on those. I found about 120% of the markup price is about your limit. Any higher above that, and customers are going to start asking questions. And these are priced already. Savage. I'm just dunking these here, bro. Are these really that cheap? Okay. I'm curious, if I pull apart, I'm just going to try and see what items we get. Oh, we get some battery, we get electromagnetic cables. The battery I'm not too worried about. Cables we might need. We don't have a magnet. Let's just break one up. Now, obviously, you don't want to be doing this to all of your items because you're essentially losing profit when you can't sell an item. You're breaking it down. But the reason why we're doing this is if I find a collector's item, they're worth hundreds of dollars. And if I can repair those items, I can make a very, very hefty profit. So, yeah, good stuff. Okay, we've got everything out of this. Now I can break this up. There's a bit of work involved and prep in the game, but it's a very chill game. It's one that I usually play when I'm listening to a podcast or I'm just wanting to switch off. This one actually dovetails really nicely with the other games we've been streaming tonight. If I've been trying to survive a bunch of rounds or doing a bunch of runs in a roguelike, I may just want to switch off and have a bit of a break, and this game works out perfect for that. It's really odd because nobody's heard of it. I haven't heard of it. If a developer hadn't sent me the key out of the blue, I never would have even... The game wouldn't have even been on my radar, which is a shame too, because it's really good. We're going to open for the next day. Okay, let's open for business. Now, we are a one-man business, and at the moment, you can't hire additional employees. I need to pay my bills, so let's go to manage. I'm going to pay my loan repayments. I've got 3 days left on the loan. If I go and pay this off early, oh man, it's not even worth it. You can pay the loan off early, but you pay a penalty fee, so I'm just going to pay, which is weird, like, thought they'd be happy to. But I guess it's like a mortgage. If you pay it off early, you got to pay a break fee. In this case, I'm just going to ride the next 3 days out and just pay the rest of the... Once I'm not paying out the nose for a loan, I can start using the extra money to buy more goods. We're making an okay profit now, but I'm not exactly, as you can see, flush with cash. Okay, you need a 50, 5, 6, 7, 8, 50. Okay. Yep. Don't alt-tab out of this game. I alt-tabbed, and the game just had a heart attack. The other thing too is the developer doesn't have a big social media. So I was going to try and contact the developer and just, you know, give him a thank you. Usually devs have I use X for my social media. And I know a lot of developers use Blue Sky or whatever it is. I can't stand Blue Sky, so I won't use it. I'll use X. X is good. Okay, I guess we're just going to chill. Wait for a customer. I mean, there's not much I can do right now. I don't have a lot of money. Once we sell all of this stock, I'll turn some of that money into buying another pallet. I mean, you can see here, if we go to pallets, that would be a nice one to pick up. $600, I can afford that. Okay, you want $13.50. Ooh, a gamer. Hello, sir. If you watch closely, there's a lot of parodies in this game. They've got like a Dark Souls game parody. There's a few others, including a few jabs at some other games too, which I do like a bit of satire in my video games. 160. The good thing about the items in this pallet is I've marked up all of them, so we are going to make a fair bit of money. I am going to purchase that pallet of mixed goods. It's oh wow, that's 300. That's savage. We got to buy that. I'll buy this one first, eh? Because it seems like this is just a couple of items that are high value. There we go, yeah. There's going to be... I have no idea. I'm going to have to pull the scanner out. Oh, yeah. There you go. I just made my money back. 350. There we go. So these Italian coffee makers, I sell both of these. There we go. I don't know if they'll even bloody fit. Just savage. Okay, 101. Whoops. And, oh, there's a couple more things in here too. I mean, I won't make a huge profit off it, but should be right. It depends, like, when you buy a pallet, sometimes you get rare items too. So maybe a while before we start to turn a profit. This workbench here was nearly $3,000. So, oh, here we go. I didn't check these out. So these Void Frontier is actually a legit game from a dev, if I remember. 95. We can put 10 on that. Very nice. You want 950. We're making bacon slowly. Okay, and we've got some golf balls. I mean, we done well. We done well. These are these are priced. So I'll drop this last game over here. Bro. Sold a coffee maker already, son. We made our money back for shizzle. Okay, 22. Oops. Can't count. See, the customers drop the items off the shelves too. When they pick something up, and they'll send everything else flying. It's probably the only thing in the game I'm a little miffed with. I'm not sure how they messed that up, but it's not a huge issue because it's something you can fix pretty easily. But yeah, going around and picking items up and putting them back on the shelf isn't a whole bunch of fun. We're pretty broke right now, so I can't. I would like to buy the more expensive pallets, the stuff that's worth a bit more money, but we just don't have the funds for that right now. Another customer. Very nice, very nice. There's 285. Oh, whoops! That was meant to be a 50 cents there. I did myself out of 50 cents. Okay, 850. Yeah, we're not making a massive profit here. Mainly because we're having to pay our loans, so 950. We've got 3 days worth of loans, and then our $3,000 loan that we used to start the store up's paid off. So we're already up to $1,300. That's savage. Let's see if we can buy. I could buy this audio devices. Let's have a look. Oh, those speakers are worth about $30 a piece. So yeah, let's grab that. I mean, I can't afford all the good pallets, the big ones, so that's okay. I'll chuck these over here. Oh, there we go. They're worth 160 a piece. So we made our money back already. Okay, 109.50. You want 40.50. 40.50. Beauty. Okay, yeah, we're starting to make a bit of money now. So slow going, but there we go. We're closed for the day. We've got a bit of extra stuff we can drop, but what I can do is put this on a shelf. Okay, or not. We can chuck this stuff down here. We've already got these. And we can get rid of this box. Now, pallets will reset at the start of the next day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this out and I'm going to buy that other El Cheapo pallet. And this stuff, we're not going to make a whole lot of money. It's just to kind of get us by, pay the bills until I can build up some more capital and then I can start buying the big pallets. We could buy big size pallets once we get the right upgrade. There we go. Okay, there was another one here for, yeah, 400, although I want mixed. These are expensive, but that's okay. Oh, these are worth a fair bit. Okay, these are probably about 40-50 bucks a piece. Just off these three, we'll probably get at least half the pallet value, so I think that's worth a buy. You know, it's a bit hard to tell sometimes. Generally, I mean, I don't find any pallet where I lose a whole lot of money. It's just that sometimes you'll break even. You won't make any money. Okay, let's oh yep, these bad boys can go here. I've already priced these. Yeah. Savage. So if we sell all those, we'll make our money back just on these. So yeah. There's some fat stacks, son. Fat stacks. Okay, beautiful. These are all sorted. Let's get rid of this. Now you can use tools to break these, but again, tools are very expensive, so I could use a box cutter. I have got a box cutter, but I have to buy another one. In fact, I should probably do that. Equipment. Tools. Box. It's 50 bucks, but you know, 50 bucks is 50 bucks. As you can see, we don't have a whole lot of money to spare. At least we got the shop fully stocked, though. And we're 3 days away from being free of our bill. So let's move on to the next day. No, we made a bit of money despite all of that. Oh, and I forgot I've got these as well. I don't think I'll be able to fit these bad boys. No. Okay. Oh, see? Yeah. Alright, whatever. I'll pick those up later. So I open the store. And we're going to do our payment. Okay. So once we take away all of our costs, we've got, yeah, not a whole lot of money. Not a whole lot of cash at all. It looks like it's going to be a quiet one too. Not too many customers today. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, 150. Okay, now we can fit some of these on the shelf, hopefully. There we go. Now, I wonder what sort of pellets they've got available. We can get a mystery pellet. I am curious about that. That's very cheap. what the hell? We might lose some money on this, but I'm going to roll the dice. I mean, even if this stuff is no good, I can scrap it. So it's not going to be a waste. Damage. It's all bloody damaged. Okay, well. Okay, 550. $231.50. Now all this stuff, because it's stuffed, I don't know what this stuff's worth. Oh, it's worth a fair bit. But if I was to sell it, we're gonna take a loss, but maybe I should scrap it. Because I paid $300 for all of this, and if I scrap all of it, I'll have a ton of materials. Let's see how we go. If we literally run out of stuff to sell, I may have to fall on my sword. Because there's not a whole lot of good stuff here to purchase. I mean, there's a mixed one here for about $1,000. That might be good. I'm going to need to clear that pallet before I do anything else, though. In fact, that's probably a good idea. We can probably chuck all this damaged stuff here. Okay, 41. Okay, let's start scrapping this. Because it's knackered anyway. Oh, okay, we'll get some good stuff here. What are these worth? Well, they're worth a fair bit. I think what we'll do is we'll scrap all the damaged parts, and then I'll spend big on a pallet of good stuff, and we'll use the damaged stuff to repair the good stuff. $32, $30, $2. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna start. Start scrapping all this stuff. It's going to be a bit of a slog to do all these, but we only paid $300, which sounds like a lot, but if we get one high quality item and repair it, I can make $300. Easy. In fact, I've found a collectible item, a collector's item in a haul in one of these pallets, and that one item, even before repair, was worth about $400. So I didn't even know this was a thing that you could repair items. And once I bought the workbench, I was trying to figure out how we get spare parts, and this is how you do it. You go and find some damaged or really low quality electronics or goods, and then you pull them apart, take the parts out of them, and the parts can be used to repair something that's worth more money. Okay, homie. 950. I got you. See, we've already made $2,000. We're rolling in cash. I can afford to scrap all... Oh, man, yeah. I can afford to scrap all these. That's how we make some money. The only problem is it's time consuming and there's no way to bulk scrap items. And I'm not complaining, obviously that is by design, but it wouldn't make sense for, you know, a sole operated business to be able to break down massive amounts of items. There you go. We're making bacon today. It was a great trading day. We started off with like, what, $400? We're up to $2,400, so big profits. And we also spent a bit of money on this pallet, which has actually turned out to be good value, because now I've got all the electronic parts I need. We can buy one of the big pallets. In fact, I may do that. I'm going to need to clear this pallet out first, though, so I won't need to... I'll be able to take all the stuff out of this and put it on another shelf. Now we're closed, okay. Well, I'm going to do all these now. And we'll have all the parts we need. Hell yeah. This only cost me $300, so if I find one good part in one of these pallets and make $300, I made my money back. And also, it won't take all these parts to repair one item. We'll set ourselves up to repair tons of stuff. And you don't want to repair everything, so I would only ever waste parts on repairing something that's worth, you know, worth more than $200, $300. It's a collector's item. Items have different grades, and you'll see these collector's items, they shine with this golden glow. They're easy to tell. In fact, I've got... Let's have a look and see if I've got any skills I can purchase. First things first, let's go to Manage, Perks. You can get an accountant, and he auto pays your bills, but honestly, I can sort that out myself. Ooh, A-grade items generate less profit. They're expensive but in perfect condition. Also, so negative items or damaged items gives you a bad rating. So this actually looks pretty good. But I think this is probably the one I want. Medium pallets. We can get big ones. So I'm going to unlock that. And because I know that this is going to affect my reputation in a negative way, all these damaged items, we're not going to sell. They're going to go to the great electronic gods. I'm going to do all these. There we go. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do a bit of trash work, but what we now have is a huge amount of spare parts. So I can, let's get rid of this. I can buy a pallet that's it's more valuable. And if we get anything that's high quality, I can repair it. This is the only part of the game that can be a bit tedious. You can, of course, automate this later on, so... And it is a good way to get a ton of XP. So we're getting lots of XP to upgrade our perks. But yeah, chucking rubbish out be a bit tedious. I don't know, I wouldn't remove it from the game because I think it's part of the experience. Yeah, it's struggling at the start of the game when you've got nothing. Trying to make enough money to get by. And I was definitely... I mean, I've spent about... I think I'm 5 hours deep in this game. And it's been a pretty rough ride until now. Not in a bad way. I just mean you've really got to be smart with your decisions and how you use the money. I opted to sell... or to pay off the loan, and I ended up having to start the game again because I would have had to take out another $3,000 loan, and then of course the bigger the loan the more interest, so I shot myself in the foot by paying off a loan, and then I had no disposable cash to buy more pallets to sell more stuff, and I put myself in a death spiral. So there we go. Oh, you mongrel. Okay, so let's go see if we can buy that other pallet. Equipment. Whoops. Pallets. This one looks good. 38 units. Let's have a look. Alright, these are... Ooh, laptops. We could definitely sell those for a fair bit. Okay. Hey, you're back, Frost. A returns outlet. It's not something I've seen in Australia, but apparently it's an outlet where you buy used goods and sell them. You repair them and sell them, which is what we're doing. We're selling these goods to try and make a profit with various levels of success. I had to take out a really big bank loan to buy this in Australia. Well, no, not in Australia. Yeah, no, they're back again. They're back. Mongrels. Hold up. I'll give them the appropriate treatment. I was watching one of my friends who's a developer on a game I worked on, and he gets the same issues. He has he gets at least one of these messages in every stream because he streams too, and he's like, yeah, no, it's just something you got to live with, unfortunately. There we go, I just got rid of it. Okay. Yeah, so basically the premise is that we are getting used goods, we are selling used goods, and I know it sounds like a really dumb idea, but this game's deceptively fun. I never thought I'd find myself playing a game like this, but it's actually really well done. Whoops. It's a balancing act because oh, there we go, he's gone now. It's a balancing act because you have to buy these used products and then you have to make the decision on whether you're going to sell them or you're going to pull them apart for parts. So one of the things I did, I'm about 4 or 5 hours into the game. I've got this bad boy here. This is a workbench. So before you came back, I bought a pallet of mystery goods. The pallet was full of damaged goods and I pulled all of them to bits and I got all the spare parts out. And what we're doing now is looking for pallets of goods that need repairs. And I'm going to make a profit by repairing the items. So these are all used goods. We need to scan them and get a price. And because I have a really good rating, so if we have a look here, I got a 4-star rating out of 5, and that means that I can jack my prices up a little. So I find about 120%, an extra 20% on top of whatever you're selling. The customers will stomach that, but nothing above that. There we go. No one's complained yet. The only problem is I don't make a whole lot of money on this place. We've only just started to turn a profit. So my goal is to try and turn that around. But it's been rough sailing. Not enough shelf space. Now these sleeping bags, they sell real good. Yeah, this is another problem with the game. You'll notice that when you put stuff on the shelves, sometimes it will send other items flying off. Yeah, it's frustrating. I think that's pretty full. So what I might do is we'll chuck these over here. You don't have to put everything on the shelves. We've got some spare items we're going to chuck over here. The loose items I'll load up. These items are all items I've previously sold, so they've got a price. That one might not. Oh, it does. Beautiful. Okay. And then we just have to cut the boxes up and chuck them out here. Yeah, I'll after the stream, I'll pop a item in the chat for the boys. I am currently working on getting a couple of games, but I haven't heard back yet about them. So I'm happy to continue with Barotrauma, or we can play something else. I'm happy. I wouldn't mind giving that that Toxic Crusaders, well, not Toxic Crusaders, Toxic Commandos. I'm looking at a game called Nightmare Reaper. And I'm also trying to get my hands on some copies of Humanity, the zombie survival game. But the problem is that there's a lot of content creators, dodgy content creators at the moment, and that means that companies are very, very strict around giving out more than one key. Because people, they will get on these reseller sites. I don't know why you go to all the trouble of building up a reputation and building up good faith with developers and then just squander it by making $5 or $10 on a cheap reseller site. But, you know, what do I know? Let's end the day. Oh, wow, that was a good profit. Nearly $800. Hell yeah. Okay, let's have a look here and see what our payments are. We have just a couple of repayments left, so let's pay that. Boom. And open the shop. I have a theory. If I put this here, can I repair it? I'm wondering. I don't want to... Oh, I don't have a resistor. Okay. Okay, I was just curious. So you need certain parts to repair. But if I find something that's worth a lot of money, I wonder if I put this one in where I'll get a resistor. Network card antenna? No. Okay. I need to find a part that has a resistor. Oh, I also need to make sure I'm keeping an eye on the customers. Yeah, it's just really sad to see, to be honest. I need some audio items, so we're going to buy that. Audio devices. Oh, wow, that's so expensive. Yeah, that's the problem. There's developers are stuck with this sea of dodgy products. Well, not dodgy products, dodgy creators that send... I didn't even know that was a thing, because I mean, I have a jump through... You know, I have a jump through so many hoops to get a key. Not so much now, well, not just when I want one for myself, but if I want one for the group, I have to fill out God knows how much paperwork, because there are these people that, you know, do dodgy stuff, and it makes it a nightmare. But I mean, it helps if you know a publisher. I've got a few publishers I work with pretty commonly. Ones you see on the stream a bit, so... But even those guys are like, yeah, we need you to fill out a bunch of paperwork just to cover us in case someone decides that, you know, they're gonna use the key for dodgy purposes. So it is what it is. There's not much I can do about it. Oh, we're running out of audio equipment. I'm gonna have to buy. That is way too expensive. I can't afford that. That, yep. See, I hated how the other parts keep falling on the ground all the time. Oh, he bought the coffee maker. Okay, nice. That's going to make me a nice... Oh, see that? So the customers are just dropping. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I have to be careful about who I work with as well, man. Because I used to have a streaming group, and a company gave me Barotrauma. That's how I got my copy of Barotrauma. So the developers of Barotrauma very kindly sent me a bunch of copies of the game. And the people who I was playing with at the time, they stabbed me in the back and they cut and run. They said, yeah, we'll do the video with you. We'll stream with you. They took the keys for Barotrauma and they just ghosted me. So then that damaged my reputation with the developer, because I had to go back to them and you know, and of course their first question is, well, why are you friends with these people? I'm like, yeah, how could I preempt that someone would do that to me? It's, you know. Oh, that's going to be, yeah, that's a big pallet. 41 items, okay. as opposed to 30 items though. It's half the price. Yeah, I'm gonna... How do I take it out of the... Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the smaller one. I just don't have the money right now. That'd completely clean me out. Too risky. Okay, $12. Okay, I'm going to go to buy this. Yeah, I've still got a bunch of payments I need to make on my loans. Okay, oh good, these are all priced already. I can just drop these down here. I love when they're pre-boxed because I can just put them like this and then they'll just sit there. Beautiful. I don't think I made much money off that pallet. These are, what are these worth? $30 each. Yeah, I think I lost money on that. Now these are $110 each, but yeah, even with all those, I don't think I made any money on that. I think I probably lost money. Now, well. Okay, 58. My headphones. Oh man, I didn't make much money at all. Yeah, I probably lost money on that. That's another thing about the game. There is an element of risk in every single product you buy. More so if you get mystery boxes, because sometimes whatever's in the box. I mean, I lost a bunch because I bought a mystery box. It was $300, but every item in the box was damaged. So luckily for me, though, I scraped together the money to buy this, and then I was able to scrap the items for parts. So if we buy a pallet and we're lucky enough to get something that's worth money, I can repair that and make a good decent profit on it. I've got spare parts, I've got circuit boards, I've got batteries. The problem is finding a pallet that's going to be... I mean, we spent $1,000 today on a pallet that's worth nothing, so we're probably down a bit on money. Yeah. I mean, our shelves are nearly empty. I'm going to have to buy more pallets. I'm probably going to get reamed the next day. Let's have a look and see. Yeah, see, look, everything... Oh, $90 mystery pallet? Oh, we got to get that. That's worth nothing. Let's go. Even if I just get scrap out of that. Yeah, let's go. Who cares? Like, it's $90. I'll just scrap everything in it. Oh, savage. Look at this. That's in used condition. I can just sell that out off the bat. That's good. I just need some cables. I can... Oh! Let's go. Renewed. That's That's beautiful. That's $59. Yeah, let's go. 80% of price. Yep, I can probably charge 90 for that. Let's go 85. That might be a little bit high. Maybe 80. That's a pretty big markup. Oh, I could do it for both. Let's go, son. Let's go. This is damaged. But I got a ton of these, so I can do this. Used. I won't use these because I don't have a lot of cables. So let's go exit. And oh, this is great. I made a massive profit on this. I sell one of these. Look, I sell one of these items. One of these speakers, that will pay for the entire box. And I've got 3 more of these boys. Relay, we can... Have I got relays? I have got relays. Yes, let's go. Getting paid. Getting paid, son. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Get that there. That's not worth a whole lot of money. I probably shouldn't have done that. In fact, I am going to scrap the rest of these. They're worth $30, so I don't care. We're gonna take all those. Oh, what is this? It's a save. How do I get it though? I paid $90 for this. This safe is worth double. Let's go. Passcode. Oh, okay. I don't know what's the code though. Maybe I should hang on to that. I don't know what I can do with that. Yeah. I might find a code in here. No? I mean, even if we don't get anything out of that safe, I made my money back and then some. Yeah, man, you wouldn't believe some of the trouble I have trying to get keys. Like when I got Barotrauma, it looked so bad when I got stabbed in the back by these guys. And they were supposed to be like, these were guys I knew, they were my friends. I used to do streams with a bunch of other Aussies, and they knew how hard it was for me to get keys. So I'd always be like, are you sure you want to do this? We're going to have to do a video together. And after that, after they did that to me, I'm just like, I'm going to stream by myself. I'm not going to hang out with anyone again. And then I met Cal, and then Cal kind of restored my faith in humanity a little bit. Like he's a solid guy, but yeah, I was so thoroughly disappointed, by that group that I was just like, no, I'm not gonna. If I'm reviewing games, I'm just gonna do them by myself. And yeah, it's one thing if you get a bunch of people you don't know. It's another thing if you play with guys for like, weeks and months, and then they just decide to do that to you because they can. So yeah, it's just thoroughly disappointing, unfortunately. Oh, nice. These are worth. Let's put 225 on those. Yeah. Okay. We still got a fair bit of money. Let's see if there's any other mystery things we can buy. Nah, 500's a lot for a mystery. And these, yeah, they're eye-wateringly expensive. I'm gonna wait for the next day. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I met Lukey through, and that's the reason why I do this. Most of my friends that I play with have been viewers on my Twitch channel or other Twitch streamers that I met. So it's kind of a good way for me to socialize as well. We made a ton of money today. And even if I don't get games and we're just playing demos or we're just hanging out, it's just an excuse for us to just hang out and play games and do stuff on a Saturday night. Let's go. Late payment fee. How much can I pay this off? Early payoff amount 900. I am tempted to do that. What, six payments of 180? That's actually a fair bit, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. If I blast through all of my disposable income and I've got no way to buy more stock, it's going to completely destroy me. I don't like being in debt, but it is what it is. Oh, these shelves. I hate the products bouncing off. I haven't looked. Honestly, if I was going to buy something, it'd probably be a roguelike game that's co-op. Lukey's suggested a couple. Like, I've seen Raven's Watch. He's playing Raven's Watch. Honestly, I was kind of looking for something like Sniper Elite, similar to Sniper Elite, that we can play. Because I know the only thing is though, those games are, I think they're only like 2 or 3 players. That's the thing. If I was going to buy something, it would have to be something that's more than 4 players, which is kind of hard because most co-op games have a 4-player limit. I'd love to get a game that's like a big old school RPG like Baldur's Gate style RPG that we could all play together. Okay, let's have a look and see what pellets I can buy. Oh, why are they so expensive? That's crazy. So expensive. I can't afford that. I'm gonna have to though, because I'm running out of mixed products. Oh, that's brutal. I'll get the audio devices. 15 units. I love survival games. I would love to. What I was thinking of, we should have a look at sites like Fanatical. I love Fanatical because you can get games in a pack. Like I got one for Bobbles. I got him the Sniper Elite games for like $5. I kind of use Fanatical a fair bit. It's probably one of my favorite sites. Like it's like what Humble Bundle used to be. I used to love Humble Bundle, but now all their bundles are rubbish. Ever since they released that monthly Humble, what was it, Humble Plus or whatever it is, most of the stuff they sell is just garbage. Let's go. Get audio devices. Yeah, if you have any ideas, I'll have a bit of a look. I know Kel's been playing Icarus. If that's in the sales, I'm thinking about picking it up. Oh, you mean the comic Invincible? Yeah. I haven't watched the TV show, but I read the comics. Yeah, I don't mind Invincible. It's not too bad. I've only watched the first season though. Up to when Nolan leaves Earth, but I've read the comic. Like, I've read all the comic. I'll tell you, because you're not really easily offended. And I'm not going to go into what's in the comic, but if you want to read a comic that's really interesting, check out a comic by Garth Ennis called Crossed. I've been reading that, but it's not for the faint of heart. Like, I mean, if you've seen Garth Ennis' other work, you probably you know what he did The Boys, so. But I mean, this makes the Boys look tame by comparison. It's mental. Oh, okay. What, like a multiplayer game, or? I might be able to hold out to the end of the day and see if we get better pallets. I mean, this is looking sad, but if I buy a $3,000 pallet, it's going to wipe out all my savings. Yeah, I like Invincible. They got some really good voice actors for that too. Like, I can't remember who voices in Invincible. He was in The Walking Dead. He played Glenn, I think. And they got the guy who was in Oz to play Nolan. I can't remember his name. He's a good actor, but I always forget. He's always like in these like bit parts, but he's actually really good in the show. And they got oh yeah, sorry man, we're out of speakers, bro. We're kind of out of everything. I'm just trying to make it through to 8 o'clock, and then I can buy better stuff for next day. Okay. 1, 2, 4. Hell yeah. Yeah, I know we're looking pretty sad, my friend, but I got $4,500, so we're gonna load up on pallets the next day. I'm just gonna buy everything that's not nailed down. Let's go. Give me that sweet, sweet money. Okay, let's end the day. Oh, look at that profit. Oof. Oh, really? I haven't played Injustice. I mean, I played Mortal Kombat, but not the new one. I think I've got Injustice because I've got PS Plus. But I don't have a PS5, I've only got a PS4. I haven't gotten around to upgrading because I just don't use the PlayStation that often, so I'm like, it's probably not worth. Oh, okay. This is going to be expensive, but I've got no choice. No choice. I hope I got some good stuff here because I just spent $3,000 on a pallet full of goods. Okay. Let's load up. I'll have to check it out, man. I love the Invincible comic. I did read most of the Invincible comic. But yeah, the generally in the sales, I will buy. I mean, I don't buy a lot of stuff from Steam directly now. I tend to use sites like Fanatical because they're just better value for money. Unless it's something I really want. But I mean, if it's something that everybody's going to play, yeah, I don't mind spending a bit of money. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's one way of describing it. Yeah, it makes them, they lose all self-control, basically. Generally, I don't read Garth Ennis's work because I'm not a big fan of The Boys, but I like just because it's a very preachy series. But it wasn't bad. Like when I saw when I read it, I was like, mainly because he doesn't have any. It's one of those comic books where you're like, is he really going to do that? Oh, yep, he did. Yeah, the one I'm reading is what was it? Crossed Badlands, which is like a compilation series. Probably the best one is Wish You Were Here, but actually no, the ones where I'm trying to think of the one where the actual virus starts. But I usually don't recommend it to normies because they'll see it and they'll be horrified by it, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, I know it's not for everybody, but if you find that's probably a bit too much, there's also a really good series that's very similar called Stitched, because that one takes place in Afghanistan, and it's actually pretty good. Oh, really? Oh, you'll have to tell me what it is. I think I know what you're talking about. It's yeah, the name's on the tip of my tongue. I was gonna say Ziam, but no, it's not Ziam, because that's like a straight zombie movie. I know what you mean. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's not Happiness. It's now it's. I'm gonna go crazy trying to remember what it is. We're gonna I was gonna say we'll move on to the next game, but let's finish out this day and sell this stock and see if I can make a bit of money. I'm curious what's in this. Ooh. Very nice. Very nice. Let's sell this. Oh yeah, we got this marked up. The sadness, yeah. Yeah, I just found the concept really interesting. But because it is pretty extreme, a lot of people looked at it and it's just like, because I remember I started reading the comic and my wife was like looking over my shoulder and she's like, "What the hell are you reading?" I'm like, "Don't judge me. It's actually it's a pretty good series." Like some guy was just like, just tearing this dude's head off, and I was like, "Don't judge me. It's actually not bad." Yeah, if you haven't seen Ziam, that's a really good Taiwanese horror movie too, a zombie movie. I watched that one with Bobbles. Usually when the missus is away, him and me will watch some movie we're not supposed to. I watched Train to Busan with him the last time, and he's like, that freaked him out. But the reason, like, because my wife's like, oh, why do you do that? I'm like, the reason I do it is because my dad used to do it with me when I was a kid. With like, because my mum used to work shift work, and my dad works shift work, and he'd kind of be home at night, and she'd be home during the day. So usually, like every Saturday night, because she was like a nurse, she'd go to the hospital, and then Dad and me just like he'd just feel like, okay, we're gonna watch something like, because my family like really really heavily Catholic, so I couldn't watch horror movies, or you couldn't play Warhammer or Dungeons and Dragons, because obviously they had like pentagrams and stuff in it, so that was a big no-no. But yeah, usually once a week we just pick something like really scary. I remember he watched I think it was Hellraiser. He watched Hellraiser with me. That was sick. So yeah, I guess I do it because I remember doing it as a kid, and like it was a good bonding experience. But I need to pick something a little bit less, well, my son's kind of like me. He doesn't get traumatized, but yeah, unfortunately my other one, she's like, I don't want to be left out. I want to watch scary movies too. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then we watched, I can't remember, we watched something really, really scary. I didn't know it was that bad. And then at the end, Bob was like, oh, that was a good one, Dad. And we turned over and looked at her, and she's just sitting there, just silent PTSD. I'm like, okay, all right, probably next time we'll pick something. We'll pick something a little less scary. Something's not going to give you nightmares for the next month. I haven't seen that, but I've heard of it. I have heard of it, and apparently it's pretty good. There we go. There's $2,000 worth of stuff on this shelf, so... We're making money. Well, you know that there was a whole thing about people approaching Garth Ennis to make a movie about the Crossed, and the talks just kept breaking down. Because even though it's a pretty underground series, it's still pretty popular. And there's another one that was really good. I think the one I told you about in Afghanistan called Stitched. That one's really good because it's set during the war in I think the war in Iraq. So it follows like a bunch of American Marines, and the Mujahideen are like using. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, it's really good. If you like the Cross, you'll like it. But I know a lot of people didn't like it because they were saying it was political. Because like the bad guys are like these like Muslim extremists. I didn't see it. It was pretty like I didn't get that when I read the comic, but I just thought it was an interesting story when I read it. Okay, let's check these over here. $45. Yeah, well, that's the thing about the Cross. There's a lot of scenes like that too. So yeah, I know it's not for everybody, and I only mentioned it because I was reading it. It was interesting, but yeah, for anyone who is watching that is going to watch it or is interested, yeah, be aware that it's not puppies and kittens sort of series. It just basically, if you've seen any other Garth Ennis show, it's pretty much the same as that. So, it's Know what you're getting into. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah. Well, I like post-apocalyptic stuff, but a lot of that stuff by definition is dark. So it's not going to be for everybody. People are going to go, you know, it's too dark, which I get. Like, I know it's not everyone's going to go for that. But I wouldn't suggest watching that stuff all the time, but I like, you know, I like post-apocalyptic stuff. I don't know why. I just find it interesting. And obviously I'm not the only one. I mean, if you haven't seen Train to Busan, that is a really good movie. The sequel's not quite as good, but it's still pretty good. But, you know, as far as comics go, I obviously don't read mainstream comics because they're no good. I won't read anything Marvel anymore. Not interested. Generally, just manga and manhwa. I'm kind of exclusive, or maybe indie comics as well, occasionally. Oh yeah, we're going to make a nice fat profit on this. Look at it. If these earphones don't keep falling on the ground every 5 minutes, what do you want? There's no price. What? There is a bloody price. What are you talking about? Price. There's a price on everything, bro. You're trolling me. Everything's got a price. Oh, okay. I see. Oh, they're worth a fair bit. Okay, let's go 520. Yeah, that's it. Like, kids nowadays, they're kind of they don't realize how it was back in the day. Or I think it's because the internet's kind of changed. It's a lot more regulated now. Which, I mean, in some ways it's a good thing, but in other ways I think we kind of lost the Wild West feel of just going on the internet and finding all sorts of random stuff. There we go. Nearly got everything set up. I remember when you used to, what was it? eBaum's World? Remember eBaum's World? That had some fascinating stuff on it, but you had to make sure you were very careful about what you searched for. Newgrounds. Remember all the Flash games on Newgrounds? You could get some really cool Flash games. I remember a bunch of the Flash games on Newgrounds actually became games on Steam. I used to play this game called Zombotron, which is a zombie survival game made entirely in Flash. And the game, the developer made a Zombotron game on Steam. And he sent me a copy. I remember reviewing it. It was really good. I've finished it a few times. Give me 1 sec, guys. Just making sure I don't get Engine call? My bad. Okay. Alright, well, I think we've got a pretty good set of progress. I would love to continue on this, but I do have one more game to show you, so we're going to move on to that. But do I recommend this game? Absolutely. It is a incredibly fun little underground game about running your own store. We managed to get into the electronic side of things, and even though this is a bit on the simplistic side, I'd like to be able to solder, to create to create your own electronics, and I realize that's probably beyond the scope of this game, but yeah, I think for what it is, it's a really fun little shop sim, and I did not expect to be enjoying it as much as I did. So yeah, 100% recommend this one. I think if it comes out at the right price, I guess the last thing I'm going to do, as I do with most games, is just check out the price on this. It is, I don't think it's, oh, there you go, it's 15 bucks. It's 15 bucks for that. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. It is worth $15. You're going to get, I've got 5 hours in this before I started this stream. Now it'll be 6. But yeah, absolutely worth the time. If you like a shop simulator, this one is a pretty good one. There's a lot more depth here than there is in other shopping games that are just kind of, you stand in one room and you're just basically buying and selling. There's a bit of strategy to buying items. You have to make sure that you're paying attention to what you're buying. There's a bit of randomness, so sometimes you're going to take a loss, sometimes you're going to have to make some pretty tough decisions, and you've also got to manage your reputation, manage your goods, and do a few repairs to different items to make a profit. I like that there's random items, there's safes to find, there's different grades of items you need to take care of. There's just a level of complexity in this game that we don't find in many others. Which is why I think for $15 this is absolutely worth your time. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed watching this, but I've got one more game I want to show you tonight, so we're going to move on to our final game.